Welcome to Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. I'm Maddie Paul, and behind me is the scene of Lake Madison from our KELOLAND live cam on KELOLAND.com. On today's Eye on KELOLAND Rewind, from harvest season in South Dakota to statewide mental health awareness, we have a lot of stories to share with you today. Up first, getting cancer at any age in life is challenging, but it is especially difficult when a patient is a child. Summer Roddershot shows us how a local foundation is supporting those cancer survivors.
In 5th grade, Hayden Rusink was diagnosed with a condition called PVNS, also known as pigmented villonodular synovitis.
Essentially, it's a non-life-threatening tumor that is in my leg, and it made my leg swell pretty big to the point where it was affecting other ligaments, other joints and everything, and almost the ability I wasn't going to be able to walk if they couldn't get it out.
What followed was a couple of years in and out of the hospital.
I went surgery, and then it was fine for a little bit, then back to another surgery, and then the surgery started not working, and so I ended up going to Mayo Clinic, and they go, all right, if these next two surgeries don't work, your leg will most likely have to be amputated because we can't get this out. So they ended up doing 2 surgeries, and then as a preventative also, I went on oral chemotherapy.
Thankfully, Rusink is better now. However, that doesn't change what he went through. Ty Eschenbaum also went through a battle with cancer when he was in high school.
I didn't have any idea what to expect, right? Like most kids that get diagnosed with cancer, this doesn't happen to me, right? This happens to somebody else. You know, I've heard of cancer, but this isn't something that I'm supposed to have to deal with.
Because of what Eschenbaum went through, he decided to start the Ty Eschenbaum Foundation with the original concept stemming from what he went through when he had cancer.
Youth cancer survivors, funding kids and families that had been through what I went through, and to help them as they go to the next stage of their life and the next chapter and, you know, go on to bigger and better things. It seemed like a no-brainer.
So he started a survivor scholarship for kids who have overcome cancer and has given away 77 scholarships so far, with one of those scholarships going to Rusink. The scholarship means a great deal to the current college senior.
There's other people who also go through this, and they have other opportunities that just because they've went through things that suck and that aren't good for them and the things that honestly they never thought they could get through, that there's an opportunity to fulfill your dreams, be you, and enjoy the life that God gave you.
There's an event coming up in December that helps spur on the Survivor Scholarship and the other pillars of the Ty Eschenbaum Foundation called the Earn the Gift Gala.
It's our biggest fundraiser, but it's also our biggest celebration of kids and families and what they've been through, and an opportunity for them and all of us to dress fancy, black tie, evening gowns, all the things, red carpet, prime rib, dueling pianos, you know, very fancy setting. So we try to be the premier holiday ball in South Dakota.
Not only do you get to be all dolled up, but you will also hear from cancer survivors at the event. Rusink spoke at the event last year and is excited to attend again this year.
I'm excited to hear other people's stories. I'm excited to learn from what other people have went through, and then for more people to speak out and share the things that they go through, and that show other people again that you're not alone no matter what happens.
Last year, around 900 people attended the event.
It maintains our $100,000 gift to Make-A-Wish every year, which pays for about 10 kids to get their wish granted. That allows us to continue our $25,000 plus or minus for youth cancer survivors. And then it also continues to grow not only our endowment, but our missionaries that we're supporting abroad. We've announced here recently, and just in the past few weeks, 2 $35,000 gifts to South Dakota-based missionary programs that do work in Africa and South America.
While the group of people the Ty Eschenbaum Foundation helps continues to grow, each individual has a deep meaning for Eschenbaum.
It's really just a dream come true for me. Kids like Hayden, they're from a small town, they're athletes, they're ambitious. I see myself in them. I see, you know, so many similarities, and, you know, just a recognition of what he went through, and then watching him pay it forward, give back, you know, chart his own path of, you know, what he's going to do with his life and help others. I think it's awesome.
I'm able to get my story out and tell other people what I went through, and that hopefully others are able to share their experiences of similar things that they've went through and show other people that they're not alone.
And Summer Ruttershot described her experience creating this Eye on KELOLAND story in a recent Inside the Newsroom episode. Here's a look into what Summer had to say.
That's what eyes are made for, is to really be able to break down these stories and show you it fully rounded instead of just, a minute 15, a minute 30-ish seconds. It really gives you more time to devote to that. And when I heard what they were telling me, I'm like, that deserves a longer form.
You really did cover a lot of topics in this story, not only the personal cancer stories, but also previewing an upcoming event for December, and then also the purpose of the foundation. So how do you think that iTime really allowed you to explore so many topics within this story that probably could just go on and on and on?
It probably definitely could have. If they would have gotten me some of their other recipients, I genuinely could have made it a longer eye.
Yeah.
But I just think it's such a great organization. And when they were telling me about it, I just was like, I wanted to have that time to be able to breathe and to be able to also talk, because we have the cancer scholarship recipient, but there's also the Make-A-Wish kids. A lot of the younger kids that you see there, they're the Make-A-Wish kids that have benefited from the Ty Eschenbaum Foundation. And then even to touch on, I haven't met any of the missionary aspect of this, but that they're also giving to that. So that's 3 different things that they're donating to in huge ways that I just thought was super important. And since we had the time, I might as well fill it. So
just go ahead and cover it.
Might as well keep going.
My biggest takeaway from the story was not only hearing Ty's own personal experience and journey with cancer, but with the Eschenbaum Foundation and with those scholarships, they just want to help children and families take that next big step in their life, that next chapter. So what did you take away after creating a story like this?
I think it's cool. Ty, he's such a humble guy, but it genuinely, when you see all the work he's doing, it's so moving. And also when you understand that he was in these same situations. He was a Make-A-Wish kid. He had cancer as a young adult. So he's been in these situations. So I just think the understanding, I think it's just cool to see somebody who's doing such good work and being able to see it afterwards, though, because sometimes you're giving money to something and you're not able to see the outcome of it. But when you're giving to the Ty Eschenbaum Foundation, you're seeing you can go meet the Make-A-Wish kids that dreams are being fulfilled. You can meet these cancer survivor scholarship recipients. So I think that's just the cool part about this is you can visibly see it. And I think a lot of people have been watching, and I think it's been really cool for them to see, okay, I know exactly what my money's going towards, and I'm seeing those kids live out their dreams, be benefited from this.
That's a great takeaway. Is there anything else that you think our viewers should know about this Eye on KELOLAND story?
I just think, so ticket sales, they end this Friday. So if you want to be able to go to that, you sort of got to get on it quickly. But I just think it's cool. I think if you haven't heard about the Ty Eschenbaum Foundation, we've done a bunch of stories with him and covered really what he's been able to do. So we have a lot that we've done with him on KELOLAND.com. So if you're interested, there's a lot more for you to dig into.
Inside the Newsroom airs weekdays at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock only on KELOLAND Plus. And still to come, we have a special message where giving is better than receiving. More to come on Eye on KELOLAND Rewind when we come back after the break. And welcome back to Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. One Sioux Falls girl had one wish for her birthday this year: to raise as much money as possible for disabled veterans. Drive by Galway Park in Southwest Sioux Falls and you'll see her efforts firsthand. Carly Phillips shares with us a very special message that sometimes giving is better than receiving.
Because it is warm drink weather.
For her 9th birthday this year, Lorelei Onbaugh asked for something most kids probably would not. Lorelei was asking for $2,500, except she wasn't planning to keep all that money for herself. She wanted to help someone else.
because I like helping veterans and fundraising.
Lorelai has spent the last several weeks raising money for the Disabled American Veterans Organization. The more money that she raised, the more flags she was able to add to her field of flags here at Galway Park in southwest Sioux Falls. The DAV awareness campaign supports sick and injured veterans. But in order to plant one, you need to raise a minimum of $250. So Lorelai used the money that would have been for her birthday party this year and put it towards her fundraiser. Pretty soon, other people started chipping in with donations too.
I didn't even have a party. All the birthday money was for Field of Flags.
She also hosted a lemonade stand earlier this fall, raising over $150.
Can I get some lemonade? Yeah.
Those efforts caught the eye of Sioux Falls Stampede Hockey Club president Jim Olander. He invited Lorelai to drop the puck before their military appreciation game. But that wasn't all.
It was a big amount of money. Way too much for me to ever keep track of.
Helping Lorelai score her $2,500 goal.
Like, excited, but also kind of like another feeling, because I was excited for like getting extra flags.
Because of her fundraising efforts, Lorelai was able to plant her field of flags at Galway Park this week.
Basically just gonna start by putting one flag down 3 steps, make another hole and put another flag down, and that repeated.
This is the second year Lorelai has fundraised for the DAV. Last year, she raised enough money to plant 144 flags. This year, she more than doubled that amount.
384.
A little snow left on the ground only seemed to make the patriotic stars and stripes pop. And she had some extra hands helping her decorate this park in red, white, and blue.
She has a heart of gold, and she, for some reason, has decided that it's just really, really important, and I'm so proud of her that she has found something that she finds valuable and important, and to honor them this way.
Lorelai says her reason for doing this is simply to say thank you to every American veteran.
I want to have enough flags for every veteran.
And she has a special message for anyone wanting to make a difference in their own community that you can do
anything you put your mind to.
As Lorelai is showing all of us, sometimes giving can be a gift in itself.
That was Carly Phillips reporting, and we'll have more Eye on KELOLAND stories coming up next after the break. And welcome back to Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. The fields are looking bare throughout South Dakota. Whether it's corn or soybeans, most farmers are done harvesting. Tariffs brought some uncertainty, but growers are reporting high yields this year. Jordan DeSmit gives us a recap of harvest in South Dakota.
Corn and soybean growers are wrapping up their harvest, but this week, farmers like Jay Esser, who is the vice president of the South Dakota Corn Utilization Council, had to bring their combines through a little snow.
We couldn't do no harvesting on Saturday or Sunday. The snow has melted off the corn. It flows through the combine right now. It looks good.
Like other farmers in the state, Esser is nearing the finish line.
The harvest has taken quite a while. Corn started out wet. Took a while for it to dry down. We dried a lot of corn. We're about 20% left, about 600 acres for us to go.
Esser and South Dakota Soybean Association President Kevin Deinert say the harvest has been plentiful.
As we look throughout South Dakota, obviously there's some pockets of either too much rain or not enough, but you take through most of South Dakota, we're looking at record yields, not only for soybeans, but for corn too.
It's been a very good year for corn. Probably it's the best yields I've seen in my life. I'm 57 years old, and it's nice to see it. Just a little better price would be nice too.
The crops also appear to be in good shape.
The crops coming out of the field were in really good condition. Everything looked very good. Not much problems as we might see some to our southern neighbors as far as fungus or any type of disease pressure. So crops came out looking very nice and stored very nice as well.
Crop conditions real good. The plant's in real good shape. It's standing good. It's finally gotten dry. the last 20% we got shouldn't take us long.
However, farmers face some uncertainty this year because of tariffs and economic uncertainty from trade wars.
Over the summer and, from the spring into the summer and into this fall, a lot of looming questions and a lot of questions farmers didn't have the answers for. So a lot of farmers had to either store soybeans or maybe delay price some of those soybeans that they harvested, hoping that a deal could be struck and some profitability could return to that market.
Deinert is optimistic that China has agreed to purchase 12 million metric tons of U.S. soybeans by the end of the year and 25 million metric tons annually for the next 3 years.
I think the market reacted very favorably when those announcements came out with the trade deal, with those initial quotes from both the president and their president. Hopefully we can see some more concrete numbers, and I think a lot of the processors and elevators are reacting positively to that news, and hopefully they can continue to raise their bids as we go through this winter.
Farmers won't be in the fields much longer, and Deinert is hopeful about their profits.
For each farmer, it's going to be a little bit different on their profitability on their farm, but thankfully with this yield bump and some record yields, I think a lot of guys are going to move into that profitable territory and come out ahead here for this year.
And up next, the Cheyenne River Reservation in north central South Dakota spans more than 1 million acres, making it the fourth largest reservation in the country. To put that into perspective, it's nearly as big as the entire state of Connecticut. The reservation is home to about 10,000 people. However, finding housing on that land has become an issue. There are a few different ways the tribe and organizations are working to address that shortage. Lauren Solik takes a look at how the YMCA of the Seven Councils Fires has stepped in to help.
In Dupree, South Dakota, you'll find 4 tiny homes in a circle facing east. On the walls, you'll see murals created by local artists. And soon, one of these small structures will be home to Sasha Maynard and her daughter.
I feel joy, I feel happy. It's just a lot of relief, more or less, off of my shoulders.
Maynard says they've been living in apartments at the YMCA in Dupree, often getting placed with random roommates. So having a place for just the two of them will be special.
It makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy that, she'll come home to a nice warm house in her own room upstairs,
These homes, which are dubbed the Morning Star Village, were built after the YMCA of the Seven Council Fires received a grant from the YMCA Alumni National Service Project.
We decided we wanted 4 transitional tiny homes because we have a deficit of over 700 homes here on the reservation. And so this is to help, hopefully, close some of the deficit.
Step inside each home and you'll find a kitchen, dining area, living room, and an upstairs loft bedroom. Brooks says the houses will go to young families or single moms looking for a fresh start.
A lot of our houses have 10 different inner families inside the home, and so it's try to help that youngest one step out with their family and start their own homes.
The houses are intended to be transitional, meaning residents will only stay here for about 18 months. However, during that time, the YMCA team plans to do more than just provide a roof and bed.
We have a partnership with the South Dakota State University, where they do nutrition programs, and so we're going to be kind of running a program for them on how to cook healthy meals, and they'll be more involved than just being a house. It's going to be a program as well. So it's going to be teaching them skills. When I come in to fix some of the things in the house, it's not just going to be, the maintenance guy's here. No, I'm going to kind of show them how to fix it so that it's another skill that they can learn while they're here.
We would help them with financial literacy and stuff like that and help them find another house. The tribe has housing, and so our hope is to work with the tribal housing to have them go to our house and then have a plan to go to their next house.
Intentional homes and programs to help people find their next steps in life.
I hope they can be a safe spot for families because we don't have enough safe homes for people.
It's going to make a difference for, multiple families, not just 4, because it is transitional. So we're going to have families in and out of here every couple years that are going to, be a step forward in their life. And I think that's very important.
Sasha Maynard and her daughter are looking forward to leading the way.
I'm pretty excited, and so is she.
And still to come, how one Rapid City group continues to spread mental health awareness. Stay tuned for more Eye on KELOLAND Rewind when we come back after the break.
Everyone's mental battles are different. Something that might feel small to one person is much more complex to others.
Suicidality is very complex, and I think a lot of people, when someone does pass away to suicide, they look kind of at just one big life stressor, whether that's someone losing their job or they struggle with this, but it is far more complex than that, than any of us could truly understand. And that is why it is important to cover all of the resources needed in getting that person help.
Be Here works with many local resources and even the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention to bring more awareness and help around Rapid City.
If you're worried about someone, if you're kind of just picking it up that this person seems off, you've known them a long time, you just kind of feel it in your gut, reach out and have that conversation. A lot of people hesitate about reaching out and having these conversations because they're afraid, they're not sure what to say. This is a time to be there, be supportive.
Be Here is currently in their second year, and this past year were able to donate over $3,000 to local resources through money raised from their clothing line and more. When it comes to mental health, whether that be something smaller to others versus bigger to the person struggling, you never truly know who is going through these battles. And with Be Here, they want to make sure that everyone is both educated in the factor of helping out their community, as well as those that are struggling, knowing that there are those out there that are there for them. Back in 2023, there were an estimated 1.5 million suicide attempts across the nation.
Being there for somebody struggling with mental health will never be easy, but that doesn't mean it's not important. And that's why we need to educate people on where to guide them in those resources, because you can be there for a friend, you can be there for a loved one, but getting them to the right resources in that time of need is what is also really important.
Resources such as calling 988, Pivot Point, and others in Rapid City can help get you or your loved one in the right direction.
We educate people on how to take care of their physical health. We need to educate people on how to take care of their mental health. And a lot of this, again, is just changing the culture around mental health. We want people to be aware, know of the warning signs and risk factors, and be more comfortable having these conversations. Again, the more that we have these conversations, the more normalized they'll be.
Reminding people that they matter and that they deserve to be here, while also getting people the resources that they need and also getting people the education that they need, because a lot of people just don't know about these resources, and that is the biggest thing of getting people mental health help, is knowing where to connect them in those times of needs.
Staying educated and having conversations around mental health can make a big difference. And simply being there for someone could help save a life you didn't know needed to be saved.
And that's all the time that we have today for Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, you can find all your Eye on KELOLAND stories online at KELOLAND.com. Until next time, have a great day, everyone.